Welcome to Stop Fighting with Your Son podcast. I'm Natalia Schneimler, and I'm here to teach you how to finally stop fighting with him and love him like crazy. Because we all want to love our boys, and I am here to help you. Listen up and find out how.
Hey guys, how's it going? I just went on a walk, and of course I have all my best ideas on my walks. And so I'm in the car, I'm going to record it for you, fresh and new. And it is such a beautiful present that I feel like you can do for yourself when you listen to this. I really encourage you to do that for yourself. So let me just tell you a little story about how this all kind of came about, and then you'll see what the point I'm making. So on this past weekend, we finally took everyone skiing, which was our first weekend skiing of this winter, which I am so pumped that we did. And the little guys went on the bunny hill, and the big boys went on the big hill, and we all took turns taking the big boys up there. So the twins are not ready to go up the chairlift just yet. But the main thing is that we did it. We actually packed everything, found all the gear, geared everyone up, the gear all fit, which, was a big accomplishment on its own, and got there and everyone skied. And so the build up to this ski season, I was so excited to ski all together. I was so excited to get the season pass, and I was so excited to have the twins ski with us. I was so excited to buy them ski harnesses that we bought for them, to help them, and basically leashes for them to go on the hill, so we can temper their speed if they're going too fast or too far away from us. So we got that, and I was just so excited, and I kept telling Doug about it, and all of November I kept saying, so are we going yet? And there was just not enough snow on the mountain yet, so we didn't go all of November. And then December came, and everyone had the same idea as I did to go skiing. And so one day, the news was showing this video of all these people lined up to go on the chairlift. Basically just a record lineup all throughout the parking lot, lining up to just get on the chairlift. Which, of course, looks like a miserable time, right? Who wants to go skiing and stand in a lineup for an hour and a half? Nobody, right? So when I saw that, my whole excitement vanished completely. And then for a few weeks, I had no desire to go skiing at all. And, and now my kind of the movie that I had in my head went from, I can't wait to ski, the whole family with the twins and it's going to be beautiful. It went from that to, I really don't want to go. It's going to be a long wait, and the twins can't even ski yet. So it went from excitement to complete dread. And of course, we weren't even even thinking of going. The skiing went away from my radar completely. Right? So here I was noticing, my desire to go skiing with the whole family has disappeared completely, and it's it's beginning of December. I wonder, where did my excitement go? So as I kind of got awareness that that's what happened, because at first I didn't even realize that happened, right? I was like, well, I just don't want to go. Then I got awareness of that's what happened. And I thought, so is this it? Is this how it's going to be the whole season? Do I want it to be like that for the whole season? Me dreading going and not going? No, of course I don't want that. I thought, okay, so I could actually, for us to go, I could, maybe I could get excited about it again, right? And so, I didn't get myself excited about it, but I kind of found that middle ground where I just chose a thought that kind of made me want to go. I'm like, okay, super low expectations. Just get there and test it out. Which got me feeling, motivated. I got us all packed up. it was a lot of work, right? Getting 4 kids organized. It's like seriously like 1,000 items of gear and everything that I had to like think through, make sure we had it all, make sure I had found it all, make sure it's all packed away, make sure it's all the right sizes, and make sure that we have enough snacks, and make sure that I have my stuff, make sure I have my husband's stuff. So all of that, I did all that. I did all that work. But the whole point I'm making is coming to this. So we go on Saturday, and it was a total success. Like the twins skied, we all skied. Doug was on skis, which he hasn't been in a few years. He's been snowboarding. So that went well. The twins were doing great. Everything worked out well. Like everyone enjoyed the snacks and everything. So I was just so happy at the end of the day. We came home and we were actually jumping into a hot tub to kind of like après ski. And I was so happy that what I ended up saying, just like not even intentionally, I was saying to my husband, I'm like, aren't you so grateful that I kind of like, did the work and organized the whole family so we could all go and just, almost like... Aren't you grateful that I forced you and I to go? Because him and I weren't like really excited to go. Because, we had that dreadful movie in our head, right? And I was like saying that to my husband, and he said something back. He's like, oh yeah, he's like, I actually appreciate that I was patient with the kids. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with that. And also, aren't you so appreciative that that I did that for our family, like, and almost like if it wasn't for me, we actually wouldn't have done it. And to me, like when I said that to him, he's like, you know what, actually, I do appreciate that. And I said, you know what, I really appreciate that too. I appreciate me doing that for us, for our family. And it sounds kind of like, I kind of said it like as an exaggerated joke kind of thing. But the truth of it is, the reason why it was like exaggerated joke is because I'm not used to saying things out loud about myself for myself that are like compliments, right? So that's why it sounded like a joke and an exaggeration. But the truth of it is, I actually do really appreciate the amount of work that went into this whole family affair, and this is actually a huge accomplishment, and I think you guys all would appreciate that it is, to give yourself that appreciation, because so often we want others to appreciate the work that we've done, and if we're lucky enough, they tell us, oh, I really appreciate what you did. And then we kind of feel that appreciation a little bit because we give it to ourselves. When we hear it from others, we're like, oh, yeah, I agree with them. Or, I did a good job. But so often, if we don't get that appreciation from others, we don't give it to ourselves. We kind of make it conditional, right? If they tell us they appreciate what we did, then we can agree with them and kind of give that appreciation to ourselves. And then we feel appreciated. But if it's conditional and we don't get it from someone else, then we're screwed. Then we are left wanting that and never getting it. So here's the whole point that I'm making, is that you can do that for yourself anytime and all the time. And for the smallest things and the most boring things, like, remembering kids' dentist appointments. Remembering to wash the snow pants, right? Like stuff like that nobody would notice that you did, and they would only notice if you didn't, right? All that stuff is really something that we appreciate that we do, right? Like, so when I gave that appreciation to myself for doing that, it felt incredible. It felt like the most luxurious award that I have won, because it is something that I acknowledge that I did, that otherwise, I would miss out on even noticing. I'd be like, yeah, right? Otherwise, like, our thoughts about that would be like, yeah, that's what all moms do. Nobody appreciates me. And that's where we go into like, I packed everything, and that's where like the default sometimes I've done it before, I don't do it now, is you go into resentment. Oh, here I go. I packed all the kids. I packed all the lunches. I packed all the gear. And all he had to do was pack himself. Right? And so that's so optional. And by default, we go there. But instead of that, I want to offer that we actually replace that resentment with just gratitude for the fact that we did the work and we appreciate that we did the work. And like, it feels good to say it out loud to my husband. And I'm like, sure, let me share. And the fact that I think I acknowledge that it's a lot of work, right? So, and it's okay that he doesn't see it. And if he sees it, great. But if he doesn't, I see it, right? What matters is that I see it. I appreciate the work that I'm doing. So that is my offering to you this season, especially now coming up to the holidays and the Christmas and with all the stuff that you're doing with COVID. Give yourself that acknowledgement of just, hey, I see that you did this. I appreciate you doing that. I see that you packed the kids' lunches. I appreciate you doing this. And the trickle effect of you doing that for yourself is just like exponential, right? All of a sudden you start seeing how what your husband is doing, and you start telling him that you appreciate what he's doing. All of a sudden you're seeing, your kids pitch in, and you feel appreciation more. And then the next time you have chores to do around the house, all of a sudden you want to do them because you feel that you appreciate it. And you don't, it's not, that action is not coming from resentment. So that is, I truly believe, is like a little present you can do for yourself. And, I remember posting that on Mother's Day. Like, give yourself that appreciation because you are the only one who can give it to yourself, right? You saying, I appreciate myself, I appreciate what I'm doing, is what creates that feeling of appreciation. And it is only your job. It is not anyone else's job to appreciate you. In fact, when others appreciate you, I just have to say, when others appreciate you, you don't get to feel that. When others appreciate you, only they get to feel that appreciation. Okay? So let's just separate that. What they think creates their feeling for them, and what you think creates that feeling for you. So if they think that they appreciate you, they get to feel that. And then if you agree with them, then you also think, I appreciate me, then you get to feel it, right? So I want to give you the permission to have this thought, I appreciate myself, without anyone else saying it. And practice it as often as possible. And practice it with big things and small things. And so that is what I have for you today, guys. I love you all. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.